clashes broke out Friday as Hong Kong residents and pro-Beijing supporters tried to force pro-democracy activists from the streets they were occupying, reviving the possibility that the week-long standoff could turn violent despite an attempt by the city's leader to defuse the situation. The scuffles in Kowloon's crowded Mong Kok district were the most chaotic since police used tear gas and pepper spray on Sunday in an unsuccessful attempt to disperse protesters pressing for greater electoral reforms. Police were hard-pressed to keep order as the two sides tussled in a tense standoff. The visibly older people trying to force the vastly outnumbered protesters out were yelling, shoving and at times trying to drag the younger protesters away. Police formed cordons and escorted some of the protesters away as hundreds chanted, "Go home." The democracy activists linked arms and held hands as they tried to stand their ground against the huge crowd. At one point, police brought in a stretcher to take away a young man, although it was unclear why. The police themselves were linking arms in an attempt to keep those agitating to get the area cleared of protesters from pushing into their ranks. The protesters and many onlookers were filming the confrontations. One man tried to grab a video camera from a demonstrator's hand. "I would like to appeal to members of the public that they should observe the laws of Hong Kong when they are expressing their views," police spokesman Steve Hua said when asked about the confrontation in Mong Kok, a working-class area far from the main protest site in downtown Hong Kong, the Admiralty area near the territory's government headquarters. Benny Tai, leader of the border pro-democracy movement Occupy Central with Love and Peace, issued a public call for all protesters to shift back to Admiralty where they began their protests last weekend. He said the group was confident they could guarantee the protesters' safety if they moved back to that area. The protests, led mostly by university students, have been in the streets since last Friday, pushing for the Chinese government to reverse its recent decision requiring a mostly pro-Beijing committee approve candidates for Hong Kong's first election to choose the territory's leader in 2017. The demonstrators want open nominations. The protests are the biggest challenge to Beijing's authority since China took control of the former British colony in 1997. Student protesters had threatened to surround or occupy government buildings if the city's chief executive, Lun Chunying, did not step down by Thursday, and police had warned of serious consequences if they did that. Late Thursday, Lun held a news conference to offer the talks,